I hate talking to a camera, I will say. When it's just me. Hey guys, so here's the before of the video you're about to watch. I made a poll in my Discord channel, which if you're not in there, hey, yeah, you can join that.
Get the fuck in there.
Get the fuck in there. But I made a vote. The vote was if I should be sober and record these videos or if I should drink and record these videos. And lucky for me, people just want to see me ramble about Godzilla because of that fated day like 4 years ago where I spoke for like 2 hours because I got put on a tangent about Godzilla. So your wish is finally here. I'm reviewing the videos, reviewing the movies, so I hope you enjoy whatever the fuck this is.
And always drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly, yeah. We will keep that in there too. Drink responsibly. Don't do anything
And
fucking stupid.
Don't drive.
Don't drive either. Don't drink and drive. And I think what I'm gonna do is play some games and drink. And if you want to see that, go to my Twitch. Go to my Twitch. Hey, plug. Hey, go there too. And yeah. Hopefully this doesn't suck. It might. I don't know. Hey guys. It's been a minute. If you saw my stream for 2.5 seconds, my game lagged, so I didn't play on Twitch. But hey, the recording still goes on. All right. I have a lot of opinions about Godzilla vs. Kong. No one asked, but I'm gonna tell you anyway. Godzilla. It's not hard to guess that I would have a very intense passion for the franchise. I mean, look at the material. Okay, not only is my name Godzuki to mirror Godzilla Jr. from the 1990 film, we're not talking about Manila Godzilla, that is not my Godzuki, but I'm also Asian. Growing up with an Asian mom, she exposed us to a whole plethora of Asian media, and despite being Thai, this woman dipped into Chinese, Japanese, and Korean culture, which made sense because she can understand all of it. And light flex about my mom, she could absolutely beat up yours. Okay, with that exposure to various cultures introduced my brother. Okay, I can on the side you guys can't see him, but I see Jax's face. My mom would absolutely beat the fuck out of your mom if she really wanted to. Okay, call it shit tiger mom. I know you're watching. Yeah, I know you can beat ass if you really wanted to. Okay, if I was in danger, you'd beat the fuck out of somebody. Anywho, moving on. With that exposure to various cultures introduced my brother and I to Godzilla. Shout out to my brother. Love you. You're a crackhead. You're worse than I am. From a young age, there was always some type of dinosaur media in the house because my brother wanted to be a paleontologist growing up. My parents' first date movie was also Jurassic Park. Okay? So you can imagine that from a very young age, I was terrorized by large reptiles for as long as I could remember. So Godzilla just made sense to throw into the mix. I remember my brother having like a 1 to 2 foot tall scale Godzilla and scaring the ever-loving fuck out of me. I cried a lot. Okay? But growing up, past the fear of giant man-eating lizards, I grew a fond love for Jurassic Park and Godzilla completely and entirely. The Godzilla franchise became such a pivotal part of my life. My family would bond over the movies and I got to create some of the best memories because of it. Like buying the full collection for my brother, including everything from the 50s Godzilla to the 2000s Godzilla. When my mom and I found a movie we hadn't even seen yet, which is Biollante. Don't watch that movie. If someone suggests I fucking review it, it's bad. It's so bad. I hate it. Anywho, listen, to my brother crying over the first legendary revamp of Godzilla in 2014 in the theaters, but I digress, okay? I love Godzilla enough to the point where I've permanently engraved him onto my body, okay? And I look sick as fuck. And so from all of these various sources throughout my life, I have boosted my knowledge of Godzilla and the lore behind our favorite radioactive lizard. And growing up with parents who instilled the love of movies and film into my brother and I am now an overly opinionated person with movies. So let's get into it. I'm gonna delve into the latest 3 movies at the time of me writing this, as requested by 4 people, 5 people if you count my mom. Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla X Kong, and Godzilla -1. I have seen Godzilla vs. Kong already. It was not an enjoyable experience. I have not seen Godzilla X Kong. I'll have my first reaction to it completely and entirely after I get this fucking video done. I have avoided all spoilers and content for it so I can get my full unfiltered opinion, and I have seen Godzilla -1, which I saw in theaters, and I will fucking happily watch that bitch again. It's fucking chef's kiss. All of these movies I'll probably watch a few times, which is sad for me because I don't fucking like the current movie that we're on. But I do that to get all of my thoughts together, which I can't say will be that fun for some movies, but that's fine. I'm ready for it. I'm gonna say a lot of hot takes, okay? I'm gonna say a lot of hot takes, okay? I get that opinions will differ, but even if you disagree, you at least have a video to eat lunch to. Now, based on how much I have to say, I'll probably be splitting this into 3 videos, video for each movie. Also, there will be plenty of spoilers ahead after this point, so if you haven't seen these movies for yourself, I would watch them first and then come back. And if you don't care, hey man, let's fucking boogie, bro. We'll take another drink because it's readily available. Anywho, we're gonna start on a real high note with this one. Godzilla vs. Kong is fucking garbage, and I hate it, okay? I really don't like this movie for a plethora of fucking reasons. I don't like what they've done to Mechagodzilla, which is just... Listen, this is what you fucking wanted. You wanted me to go on tangents. It's gonna fucking happen. I feel it in my bones. Osteoporosis type shit, okay? They absolutely annihilated my boy Ghidorah, okay? For no goddamn fucking reason. Kong is not king at all, and the side characters make everything feel like shit. They make everything feel like a drag, okay? So, this movie is rivaling being the worst next to the American Godzilla made in 1998, but that's not what this is fucking about, okay? Now, if I were to explain everything wrong with this movie with no context, you'd be confused. So let's talk about what happens in it, okay? Let's fucking break this shit down, bro. Fucking Lucio head ass, okay? We start off with Kong, somewhere on Skull Island. Kind of doing typical monkey man things like scratching his ass and showering, but through this intro we're introduced to a new character, okay? A little girl who's... I'm so sorry, Landon, that you're joining in the middle of me fucking recording this video. Dude, the video can't hear Tyler, okay? This man fucking said slander my boy King Kong. He's ass in this movie. Hard pause on what happens in the film. He's shit. He's shit for so many fucking reasons. He needs help so fucking much in this movie. It's actually fucking incredible. Dude, no, he's fucking not. You can't hear him. He said he's a baby. He's not a fucking baby. They had to scale him up. They had to age him up so that he can even fucking fight Godzilla. The fact of the matter is, he's a dog shit kaiju, okay, that shouldn't even fucking got the opportunity to fucking fight Godzilla in the first fucking place. And yet, here we are. He gets help so fucking often in this movie, and it's crazy. He's so bad. He's so bad, bro. Bad. He's shit. Anywho, moving on, okay? We're not even 2 seconds into the fucking movie about what the fuck happened. What'd you say? Jackson, if you don't shut your mouth, you're hating on me because I have hair and you're bald, okay? You just stop talking. You're bald. You're bald. Anyway, so okay, moving on to actually what happens in the movie, because already we're on a fucking whatever. Anywho, we're introduced to a new character. It's a little girl named Gia, who's basically able to communicate with Kong, okay? Shortly after Kong pulls a Katniss Everdeen and breaks the simulation, Homie has been in containment rather than being able to roam around. So now Kong is getting too big for his Bubble Boy days, which, mind you, they had to scale him up, which I fucking said, more than 3 times from his original fucking size to be able to fight Godzilla in the first fucking place. You guys can't hear him, but Tyler, shut the fuck up. Anywho, okay? But the scientists go on about how if they don't protect him, Godzilla will just fucking murk him, because there can't be 2 alpha kaijus. Kong in this universe, okay, is meant to be the alpha of the Hollow Earth, okay? Get your tinfoil hats on, because we're gonna delve into the Hollow Earth, okay? While Godzilla would be the alpha above the Earth, okay? Basically, because they're not necessarily crossing paths, they can live in harmony, because the whole point of Godzilla is to be nature's balance. So if they don't interact with each other, it's fine. However, they do. So Doesn't make any fucking sense. So now we were introduced to Alfred from Atlanta, okay? Because now we have conspiracy theorists for things regarding the kaijus, or titans is what they're calling them in this story arc, okay? Fast forward a little bit, because this story is pretty dog shit doo-doo, okay? Godzilla shows up, starts breaking more shit, and they're forced to evacuate the site so that they don't become fried like the guy from Star Trek in that one scene in the fucking first movie? First movie. Second movie? First movie. I think it's the first one. Anywho, they allude to something when Alfred catches a glimpse of the Eye of Sauron. We'll talk about this more later, okay? Put a pin in that. But Godzilla is clearly very upset, and everyone is like, hey, what the fuck, man? Godzilla used to be cool, but now he's being a fucking dick, and that's not okay. So the military rallies against him, and then after that, we're introduced to Madison, but I'm gonna call her Millie Bobby Brown, okay? She's back in this movie, because we gotta get all the, you know, all the regular people who are from Stranger Things to watch the movie, even though they have written her and the other side characters very poorly. In my opinion. Okay, my opinion. Millie Bobby Brown and her dad argue about something being wrong with Godzilla. Her dad says, you know, what she's saying is nonsense, and why would, you know, this podcast that she's listening to is filling her head with fucking lies and garbage. However, as a teenager, she's unfortunately making some pretty valid points, like, why would Godzilla show an intimidation, you know, display if there wasn't another kaiju nearby? And he says, well, animals can change just like people. His whole role in the first fucking movie was studying animal behaviors, so I don't know where the fuck he's disagreeing with her when she's making valid points in this fucking scene. But anyway, okay, he dismisses her rationale and he says some more dad things, and then she goes home and keeps listening to the fucking podcast. Next is a little snippet of a business owner who's trying to employ a grieving man over his brother who literally died on a trip through Hollow Earth. And yes, we are fully submerging into the Hollow Earth theory in this fucking movie. Godzilla King of the Monsters, they hinted at it, of this idea of Godzilla kind of zipping around from fucking place to place because he was going through these fucking tunnels. It's... I don't know how to explain this without sounding fucking crazy. Okay, so they basically allude to a massive subterranean tunnel system, okay, that connects all over the planet and can be accessed through vortexes, like underwater whirlpools, and that there are even deeper portions that can be accessed, but it's only through space-time distortions, only known as viral vortexes, okay? Keeping up, okay? So summing up in layman's terms, they basically take a TARDIS in submarine form in order to get from our normal world to the Hollow Earth, okay? You'll see an amazing paint image on your screen drawn by yours truly, because I'm not fucking finding anything that looks even remotely what the fuck I'm talking about. Moving on. So through this idea, okay, Kong can lead the scientists through Hollow Earth, a light in the dark, if you will, to basically help push him to a new home to try to stop Godzilla from trying to beat his ass, okay? So with the guidelines that the scientist lady leading them through the Godzilla-free water, Alex Skarsgård agrees to do the mission anyway, even with the tragedy of his brother, and they strap our large gorilla boy back on the back of an aircraft carrier while high as fuck on sedatives and start on their journey, giving him a new home outside of the dome, okay? While I almost went on a whole separate tangent when I was writing this about the logistics of both a gigantic, you know, both gigantic kaijus fighting on the back of an aircraft carrier, and if it can even support the weight of one of these fuckers, let alone two of them, especially why they move, but I digress, okay? That's not why we're fucking here, bro, okay? It's just a bunch of fucking giant fucking things fighting each other. It doesn't fucking matter. On this aircraft, okay, we do get a little bit more of Kong and Gia, and the little girl who's communicating with Kong through sign language from her being deaf. I think little moments like this are nice, but they don't fucking save the movie because Mechagodzilla fucking exists and I hate him, okay? Afterwards, we get scenes of Millie Bobby Brown and Julian from Deadpool riding in the back of a van to try to find Alfred, okay? We get really cringy teen dramedy type dialogue. Finding Alfred, at least in movie time, happened, you know, very quickly, okay? I'm kind of nitpicking at this point of the film, but I'm trying to get you the real meat and potatoes of the movie because, you know, we kind of need context established. I saw you take a bite. I'm looking over there. I see you eating. I don't know what the fuck you're eating, but I see you eating. So, okay. Anywho, okay, we're back on a neon-lit diner scene. Our three quirky characters, which, when you think about it, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, okay? I understand why he's talking to Millie Bobby Brown Her mom worked for Monarch, her dad does currently, but in reality, why are you as a grown-ass man talking to 2 teenagers and going on adventures with them? Okay? For the rest of the time. I get it. Maybe I should be asking these questions, but police? Okay, Chris Hansen, hello? I feel like we got a case on our hands. Then they decide to, hey, let's break into Apex, which I don't know if anyone has realized, but at this point, but if a company can afford to transport a 55,000 ton monkey on a juiced up hovercraft through the fucking earth, maybe you shouldn't try to break into their facility. Just a thought. Okay. Then we get a scene of Dr. Andrews talking to Gia about why didn't she say anything about Kong being able to understand sign language. And then we get a little bit more into Gia's background, how her parents had died. Her and Kong had this sort of unspoken bond formed where he protects her. Of course, through transition into Gia feeling that Godzilla's here, very reminiscent of the same powers the twins had over Mothra. Okay. We needed a transition for the big lizard man to show up. We get our first fight between Godzilla and Kong. Despite all of the random comments about Kong being king, he needs assistance from the military to get the fuck away from Godzilla. This is an entire battle in the water, whilst using an aircraft carrier as the only ground to fight on. So already Kong is at a disadvantage fighting against him because motherfucker does not go in the water like that, okay? But right when Godzilla is dragging this man to the depths of hell is when Dr. Andrews says, hey, we need to help him by firing depth charges into the water. Because of course, he needs help, okay? Kong climbs back onto the carrier, fine again, okay? Homie got his ass beat, okay, with an inch of his fucking life. And they fake being dead by shutting off every engine, any piece of machinery so that Godzilla doesn't come back and kill them. Then we get back to our quirky little trio of characters going to break into Apex facility. The Eye of Sauron has been moved and Alfred feels like he's going crazy, but then they take an elevator down to the basement floor of the facility. They find that Apex has a bunch of skullcrawler eggs, and of course they get trapped in said room and launched to Hong Kong. So they arrive in Antarctica. They finally convince Kong that to go through the Hollow Earth portal, get to Skull Island to get back to his home. However, right when we think we're about to see Kong establish himself in this world as an apex predator, he gets his ass beat again and needs assistance from the little fucking ships to get the upper hand of the fight. Now again, tell me why? In a movie where we are pushing so hard for Kong to be king, this fucking intense king, Kong is king, fucking, he needs so much help to fucking survive, bro. He's on his own playing ground. He's at home again. Just fucking let him fight. But no, they're like, we need to save him. He's just a little guy. He sucks. He fucking sucks. Tyler is... I hope Tyler's gonna hear this now and you're gonna hear it when you fucking watch the video later. Dude, he fucking sucks and you suck for defending him. Okay? Point blank. Yeah, he's just shit fucking kaiju. He fucking sucks. Okay? Anyway, we get back to our 3 quirky characters and they arrive at the next facility. Okay? They walk into this big ass concrete room and that most definitely should not have civilians in it, considering the random entrails left at the entrance. But this is our first glimpse at Mechagodzilla and what Legendary's take on it is, which I have several gripes about. Okay? He's possibly more of an issue for me than Kong is in this fucking movie. Backstory, which is gonna make me sound fucking crazy. Mechagodzilla, okay, was created by G-Force in order to combat Godzilla, because in ye old times, the Japanese military, of course, saw Godzilla as a threat rather than something that was there to balance nature. This was after the first generation of Mechagodzilla, which was just an alien weapon sent down to destroy Godzilla. We will touch on this later, again, I promise. Let's put a little pin in that, we'll come back. With the military version of Mechagodzilla, when Mecha King Ghidorah failed, which is a whole other can of worms we'll bring up later again, they salvaged pieces from Ghidorah and created Mechagodzilla. Now, Mechagodzilla was originally compiled and piloted by like 5 to 6 people. He had a laser beam, he had, his head at some point in the franchise, had like different weapons and shit, but he was mainly equipped with rockets, guns, and like these harpoon type spears to hook into Godzilla to zap him with electricity. So in Legendary's version of Mechagodzilla, we have a Jaeger like piloting system where, but worse, where it's just one guy, but it's essentially Wi-Fi linked to the mech. He's not even inside of it. There's even larger glaring reason why this is shit, but we'll come back to that later. with this little nugget of info, hold on to that, okay? We'll revisit the Mechagodzilla discourse towards a later fight. Okay, let's continue the movie. Back to Kong. He arrives at which is essentially Kong Island's temple for Kong's species. He grabs a weapon from the skeleton of what might be a skull crawler or trying to allude to a smaller Godzilla. I'm not sure. I'll be 100% honest, be fucking dead ass. I don't know what the fuck it is on the floor that he yanks the shit out of, but it's there. He pulls out a handmade axe from it, which is made from the fucking dorsal fin of Godzilla. Okay, like a chipped off piece of it. We get back to the scene of him sitting on the rock throne down there, which maybe it's because I've been watching too many cosmonaut videos, but it reminds me of the Transformers scene where Megatron shoots the statue of Abraham Lincoln and sits on the chair. That's what it makes me think of. But anyway, we're transported back to the Apex Cybernetic Center in Hong Kong. They give us some backstory as to how this new version of Mechagodzilla works. Apex had salvaged Ghidorah's head, as shown in King of the Monsters, which could have alluded to a lot of things. However, in this movie, they basically made a supercomputer out of his skull that links telepathically to another skull that's in the mech itself, okay? The idea that Ghidorah's necks are so long that each head communicated with each other telepathically. So taking that idea, they applied it to the mech to work in that kind of way. So the pilot sits inside of this other skull in what they refer to as a psionic uplink that follows his will, okay? I know that's a lot. Stay with me, okay? There's gonna be so much more. Just hold on, okay? Now Godzilla is in Hong Kong now, okay? He gets the vibe that Kong is somewhere while Kong's little axe lights up and he basically places in a little keyhole, little key slot that lights up. At that, Godzilla charges up and shoots his beam into the ground, all while the Apex plot line, which is fucking boring, is trying to get whatever little radioactive charged energy source thing that's been dispersed into the ground from Kong's axe. Think of it as you're condensing Godzilla's energy beam into a crystal because they want to use it to charge up Mechagodzilla, which doesn't make any fucking sense why you would need to wait that fucking long to charge up this big bitch, but it doesn't fucking matter. They also call it Serizawa, which if anyone has seen King of the Monsters, we know that Dr. Serizawa is dead. Okay? Little sip. However, apparently, okay, they just drop his son, Ren, in this movie without any real backstory. Digging a little bit. Basically, okay, he had a son. I'm turning into my brother. If anybody hears how he speaks, it's turning into that right now. Okay? He had a son. He wasn't really around too much. He was kind of a shit-ass dad because he was so engrossed in his work. He got a job for Apex as an adult because he wanted to better the world, and of course, he became, Ren. He became the pilot for Mechagodzilla. However, he gets stuck in a feedback loop while attempting to control Mechagodzilla. And in one of the movies, or one of the novels, I can't fucking read, it's implied that Ghidorah possesses Ren's body, which sounds fucking insane and dumb. But again, we haven't gotten to the fight just yet. But until then, Ren basically fights back against Simmons, the owner of Apex or whatever, saying, hey man, we shouldn't use this power source. We haven't tested it. And in true villain status, the man just says, get in the chair and fucking do it. We also finally get to see that Godzilla essentially created his very own tunnel between where Kong is and Hong Kong, as we see them both shout into opposite ends of this path. Then Kong leaps down to the hole, which logistically still doesn't make any fucking sense to me how that fucking works. I didn't want to read too deep into the fucking Hollow Earth thing because the wikis, people just fucking tweaking out and I don't want to do it. Anyway, our three quirky characters also get caught in the Apex facility. But that's fine. It'll be fine because plot armor. Anyway, let's get to the fun part, okay? This is where I would say is the only cool part in the movie. Putting past character nitpicking and weird fucking, conspiracy theorist Hollow Earth plot lines aside. Seeing them fight in neon lit Hong Kong is just kind of cool, okay? Granted, it's still fucking dumb. It's a dumb fight. But if you turn your brain off, it is kind of sick, okay? So a few things. The beginning of the fight is a little meh, but Kong is literally strapped up with a weapon and still fucking loses. Okay, fuck you, Tyler. Godzilla roars in his face to assert dominance, but spares him, because at the end of the day, Kong isn't a threat the way that Mechagodzilla is. That part... Shut up. The part of the fight where they're just kind of boxing is cool for my little lizard brain, but I don't like how the only reason he's able to hold his own and stand a chance is because he's literally using a weapon made from Godzilla's dorsal fin, bro. The only way Kong has a fucking chance is to use a piece of Godzilla against him. That's why I'm going to say run it back ×2. Fuck you, Tyler, for saying that Kong is anything besides a bitch. He's a bitch. Kong is a bitch. Okay. As we see, what? I would. He might squash me, but I'm still gonna fucking say it. My final words would be, you a bitch. Anywho, as we see, without the weapon, he gets his shoulder fucking broken and his chest fucked up, and Godzilla walks away like nothing fucking happened, okay? Because that's a real fucking kaiju right there. See that shit? That's a real fucking kaiju. Don't fucking call him a terrorist, you fucking piece of shit. Now we're back in the Apex facility. Anywho, we're back in the Apex facility where Simmons boots up old Jimbo, but seeing the flash from red to white in his eyes in the disconnection from the pilot, the connection becomes unstable using the new source of energy. But unlike the book's rendition where Ren is possessed by Ghidorah's conscience, as previously mentioned, Ren is just disconnected and then fried while connected, and the mech itself is possessed by Ghidorah. We take another drink. Okay, listen. Now, Mechagodzilla has broken free from the facility and started squaring up with Godzilla, all while Gia realizes Kong is dying. Okay, you enjoy that pasta salad. While Gia realizes Kong is dying, because Godzilla knocked the rings out of him like Sonic, okay? And they come to the decision to try to defib Kong to jumpstart his heart. Dr. Russell finally decides to become a dad again and get a hold of his daughter. Or rather, Madison calls him to try to warn Monarch of, you know, what Mechagodzilla, you know, is fucking doing. But the connection breaks up. Then Godzilla and Mechagodzilla have a Harry Potter-ass battle and their laser beams start hitting each other. But then Mechagodzilla just cranks up the juice and his beam wins. Alexander Skarsgård then creates a big enough charge with a little plane they used to go to Hollow Earth by charging it up and landing on Kong's chest to get his heart beating again. Through Gia, she finally explains to Kong, hey, Godzilla's not the enemy, and that it's been Godzilla, which I can agree. Not fucking Mechagodzilla, which I can fucking agree, because, fuck that guy in particular. I fucking hate Mechagodzilla with a burning passion in this fucking movie. After Godzilla gets his ass beat by Mechagodzilla for the entire sequence of trying to revive Kong, now we get, of course, the final fight scene of Godzilla and Kong versus Mechagodzilla. Now this fight is a little fucking whack, okay? Our three side characters have been trying to enter a password to disconnect the satellite, but because it locks, of course, Alfred decides to drink to cope, okay? But Julian decides to just dump the alcohol into the control panel, short circuits it, and for a few moments, Mechagodzilla loses power. Yes. That is how they momentarily stop it. And it's fucking dumb. Okay. Then Godzilla charges up Kong's axe. They slice off Mechagodzilla's tail, his arms, a leg. Just Mortal Kombat fatalities, this man. All while Godzilla was just hanging out. Kong sits for a second, then Godzilla gets up finally. They give each other that, I guess you're okay, kid-ass fucking look. Godzilla roars and goes back into the ocean. Now we're shown that Kong finally has his own monitoring station built in the Hollow Earth, where Dr. Andrews, Alexander Skarsgård, and Gia now stay. Okay, the end. Now, this is what you wanted, okay? You wanted the opinions of this stupid-ass person on the fucking internet who cares a little bit too much about a fucking reptile that got nuked at one point in the 50s as a fucking metaphor for nuclear warfare, okay? Now that we have this entire movie under our belt, and I'm feeling a little funky fresh, let's talk about the real issue of this movie, Mechagodzilla, okay? I fucking hate this bitch. I hate him. I hate him. I've shit on just about fucking everything in this movie. I see on the sideline Jack's trying to hold in this laughter. And you know what? I don't fucking, listen, this is my fucking truth, bro. Okay? You want to know my fucking opinion? I hate this bitch, bro. I've said a lot of hot takes. Kong is fucking dumb. Doesn't fucking matter. For a Godzilla movie, they all share a very similar formula. The movie basically follows the same general formula as well, okay? So if I'm not being a complete fucking dickhead, okay, which clearly is very fucking hard for me in this capacity, I can forgive a lot of things. Okay, don't fucking nod at that, I can forgive a lot of things. From the quippy dialogue and weird dokey side characters to the Apex plot line of using Kong to Kong himself trying to be the superior titan, which is never gonna fucking happen. There's some genuinely nice moments between characters, each other for 2 minutes, from the fucking relationship from Gia and Kong to seeing Godzilla, Kong beat the fuck out of each other for like 2 minutes straight. It can make the pill easier to swallow. Okay? If I really wanted to, I can't close my eyes for too long because then I'll start spinning a little bit. If I really wanted to, I could overlook almost everything and say it's at best an okay Godzilla movie that features Kong. 5 out of 10, not my favorite. At most, maybe 5.5 out of 10. Incredibly fucking average, okay? However, the glaring problem here with the fucking movie is that I cannot overlook is Mechagodzilla. Listen, I have the original Mechagodzilla tattooed on my fucking arm. Okay, that is the better Mechagodzilla. I don't know who this fucking man is. It's not my Godzilla. Okay, now I have a lot of strong opinions. I have a lot of strong feelings about him because I grew up on this franchise. And that big bitch is not my Mechagodzilla, okay? And it bothers me. It bothers me all fuck ton, okay? With the years of source material, they chose to go this route with this fucking character. Legendary's version, okay? He's connected via satellite, linked to the other fucking Ghidorah head, and he's essentially fucking still possessing that supercomputer they made out of his skull. While originally, we've known Mechagodzilla to be properly manned mech by G-Force. So let's delve in further into the fucking rabbit hole, okay? Let's give some more fucking backstory. You want to hear me fucking tweak out? You're gonna hear me fucking tweak out. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, okay? Because I'm also under the influence of alcohol, and it's very hard to reel myself in right now, okay? So, wet my palate, okay? Cheers, you know, Yahtzee. G-Force, okay? He was created by the Japanese military as the country's defense force tasked to defend the city to repulse or defeat Godzilla or any kaiju like him that is considered a threat, okay? You stay with me, staying with me. I might get really close to the microphone at some point. I might hold on to it. It's fine, okay? Ignore it. Ignore it. I'm losing my place in my script. Their mission was to try to eliminate Godzilla because he's a threat to the country. Think of it the way that Jaeger pilots in Pacific Rim, they're created their own specific pilots to run these mech suits to combat against the threat of kaijus. Same premise, I think Jaeger pilots just have a little bit better of a fucking system than G-Force did. Hey, they just did more for the fucking unit. Anyway. Legendary brought around something a bit different where we have Monarch versus Apex discourse, okay? Stay with me. We're going down a rabbit hole. It's gonna get worse. Monarch, okay? Which is composed of people like Dr. Serizawa, Dr. Andrews, Graham. Both Russells before Emma had a weird pull to the dark side and brought back because of family, okay? You hear me? Have a Corona in fucking Vin Diesel's name. Okay, throw a lime in that bitch. Anyway, okay, where I am so lost as to where I am, okay? People like the twins. The whole point of this organization is to research about the kaijus, to better understand and learn about them, all while having the overarching goal of trying to coexist with titans without violence, okay? While Apex, on the other hand, is a massive conglomerate that tests, injures, and kills kaijus all for their own selfish benefit of possible financial gain, or generally to have more power over the world on a larger scale. You could say Monarch works a bit closer to G-Force only because they work with the military, but past that you don't necessarily have any similarities. You would have your own independent scientists and researchers, but nothing that really linked with the military in that kind of way, in that kind of capacity. Now, I don't like what they've done with Mechagodzilla because you could have taken that in so many fucking different routes with a follow-up movie, okay? After something like King of the Monsters, you need a movie that is gonna wow not just normal people, but also Godzilla fans, okay? I'm okay with change as long as it's done a good way, good coherent way, but I don't like what they've done, okay? Comic book movies, for example, okay? There's a lot of fucking things in comic book movies that aren't the same fucking source material, okay? However, if it works in the fucking movies, they're gonna keep it, and you know, that's fine. I'm okay with that. In this capacity, why is it fucking different for the Lizard Man? Why is that different, okay? For starters, I understand in King of the Monsters, jump-starting Godzilla with a nuclear blast just made him turn into Burning Godzilla, which was a nice reference to the original Burning Godzilla. Hey, that's my phone case. Hey, is this guy right here. Okay. But while fighting fucking King Ghidorah, he first chops off one of his fucking heads in an earlier scene, and then later makes two of his heads. He fucking blasts them with a fucking nuclear blast, and then fucking crushes his chest in. Then he eats the third head and then blasted that one also. How the fuck can we do anything with just one fucking head? Riddle me that, Batman. How the fuck can we do that? Okay? What are we doing? But it's a movie with giant lizards fighting, so what the fuck does it matter? Okay, in a perfect world, okay? My English is fucking up because I'm very passionate and I'm feeling alcohol, and if I close my eyes for too long, I will spin, so you probably won't see me blinking very much right now, okay? In a perfect world, clearly, where they can just fish the Ghidorah head out of the Atlantic and make something sentient out of it. We could have had Mecha King Ghidorah, okay? We could have seen a less shit version of our beloved Ghidorah, because let's face it, old versions of Ghidorah made him look like fucking plastic, okay? But originally, let's go back, okay? G-Force basically helped repair Ghidorah, hoping he'd fight on their side. It's the notion of, you know, my enemy and my enemy is my friend, so they fixed him up, gave him new wings, a reinforced body, a new head, and sent him on his fucking way. We could have had this timeline of events where Legendary's take on Mechagodzilla, they could have had Mecha Ghidorah instead. That would have been so fucking cool, man. I literally thought they were gonna fucking do that before, and they fucking did it. No, okay? We could have had a better Mechagodzilla also. Back in the 70s, okay? Tangent time. Back in the 70s. This is what you fucking wanted. Back in the 70s, okay? There was Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, okay? Now, as corny as this fucking movie was, it raised the same general plot line that Godzilla vs. Kong, the trailer had raised. Godzilla's attacking the city. He's angry. He doesn't normally fucking do this. Why is he suddenly so violent? Ooh, what's gonna happen? So my little lizard brain was fucking cooking for fucking months when this trailer dropped. And people are like, Zuki, what do you think about the trailer? Zuki, what do you fucking think is gonna happen in the movie? Zuki, what's gonna happen? And I went on a 2-hour fucking tangent about what the fuck I think is gonna happen in the movie. Okay, I was theorizing on stream about what the movie could fucking be, and I was so excited about the notion that they could revamp the 70s idea. Okay, so remember how I mentioned the Mechagodzilla rigid being an alien super weapon? Okay, let's talk about that now. Okay, let's fucking bring that up right now. In the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Mechagodzilla is sent down from space and is literally just a killing machine in a universe where space Godzilla exists. Okay, this just makes sense. Okay, stay with me. I know this is a lot of intake. I'm just throwing fucking names and terms at you. It doesn't fucking matter. Throughout the movie, we see Godzilla just fucking shit up, and everyone's like, yo, what's his fucking problem? Only for there to be a big revelation that Mechagodzilla was wearing a disguise his entire fucking time, and he had essentially a skin on him that made him look like fucking Godzilla, okay? So when Godzilla arrives to the scene, we learn that the imposter this entire fucking time was Mechagodzilla. Now, it's a cool little scene for the time, okay? Now, later on, when King Caesar joins the fight, it gets a little fucking goofy because, you know, it's the 70s, but it's a good movie. I promise it's a good movie. You watch it. It's still a goofy time. A good movie. Good movie. 10 out of 10. Okay, I thought that they might take this route, okay? Because it's okay to be a little bit corny for a movie that is just lizard man punching each other. We don't have to be fucking serious, okay? I understand in the current age, we don't want to think about a giant alien robot emerging out of Mount Fuji, okay? But I just think that either of these versions of Mechagodzilla would have been a way better, you know, route to take than just big corporate company wants power. So they infuse it with the essence of Ghidorah, the mech becomes possessed and is linked via Wi-Fi, okay? I get that they don't want corny concepts, but let's be fucking for real, bro. We're having a serious discussion about a gigantic radioactive reptile who fights a juiced up gorilla, and we expect to not have some level of cheesy factor. Let's be fucking for real for 2 fucking seconds, okay? Plus, the design of Mechagodzilla is just far too fluid for my liking, okay? The way he moves is kind of fucking weird. I get that we don't want to make him as stiff as a Power Ranger mech, but they should have taken notes from Pacific Rim, where yes, it's more fluid than a standard human-shaped robot, but it's still robotic enough, working within the limits of something as large and mechanical. I, in general, just don't like the overall design. It could have been done much better. Plus, Mechagodzilla movements are just too fluid for something shaped like Godzilla because, you know, why is Godzilla moving like that? He shouldn't fucking move like that. Why does he fucking move like that? Doesn't fucking make any fucking sense, dude. I hate this fucking movie. I hate it. The next movie, I guarantee, is gonna be fucking worse. I'm not excited for the next movie. I don't have any fucking more in this fucking script to fucking read. The next one just says Godzilla X Kong and it's blank. I don't have anything else. I haven't fucking seen the movie. I'm sick of it. And if anybody wants to this is not a movie I recommend, okay? You want a recommendation? Watch the original fucking Mechagodzilla versus fucking Godzilla movie. Watch Godzilla versus fucking Godzilla King of the Monsters. Watch that movie. If you want a current movie, watch Shin Godzilla. That's a good fucking movie. Watch that movie. Don't fucking watch this, okay? My mom loves Godzilla. Okay, hi mom. You'll probably watch this video too. Hi, love you. Don't fucking watch this movie. It sucks. You'll hate it, okay? You'll hate it. I hate it. It's awful. Terrible. The fucking fact of the matter is, I had to watch this movie like 3 fucking times. Which is far more than I ever fucking wanted to. Don't watch this movie. It's garbage. It's terrible. If I don't ignore all the things I had a problem with, 1 out of 10. You know, fuck it. -3 out of 10. It sucks. Mechagodzilla is shit. I hate him. And the fact that I have to go and watch Godzilla X Kong, full stop, pause, period, knowing that I don't like this movie, and I had to see the preview of him being, what, pink? Why are we pink? Why are we pink? Why is he, like, what? Like, he was in the ground, he was a fucking crystal? What are we, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the fact that I have to see a trailer where he runs, what are you running from? What are you running from? Why are you running like that? What are we doing? What are we doing? What do we do? Legendary executive. If anybody, I hope in my lifetime, I hope somebody from Legendary, someone's on this video and they're like, oh, let's just like click in, like watch this. You specifically. I hope your name's fucking Steven. Steven, listen to me. Listen to me closely. I need you to figure it the fuck out, because whatever the fuck you're doing over there, that company, I need you to sort out, because whatever your source material, your whatever thoughts you're fucking thinking of, you need to stop, because this movie shit. This movie shit. You need to think about what you're doing and go to the fucking head of the department and sort it out, because this is unacceptable. Okay? Terrible. -3. -4. Derank it even further. I don't give a fuck, bro. It's terrible. I hate it. Hate the movie. Anyway, I'm gonna hang out now. And edit this. And we'll see what this looks like. If for some reason you guys have movie suggestions, please don't. Leave them in the comments. Leave them in the comments. If you want me to drink and watch your movie that you suggest, leave it in the comment. Please don't do that, because if it's a horror film, I might cry. Anyway, I'll see you guys later, I guess. Bye.